Hello everyone, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be making an A7 card, which is a 5x7 card, and we're going to do it with this cute little stamp called So Berry Sweet. And we're going to, because it has these dies that's cut it out all separately, we can add a lot of images with just one sentiment and make it a 5x7. So because we're doing that, of course I'm bringing in the Modern Embossed A7 dies because I love the embossed edge that it gives. And I'm going to do this with some colored cardstock. I'm going to pull out the second and third largest. I put the second largest one on here, realizing that I actually wanted the third largest on that one. So I'm gonna swap it out and put that one on this light green one, and then I'll put the second largest one on this pink, and then we'll run that through our die cutting machine, and we'll have some panels. Now, because I said I wanted to have lots of strawberries, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this out onto some Express It cardstock using some Blackout ink by Ink on 3. We're going to stamp that 4 times, and then we're going to color them all. So let's jump into our coloring, and I am going to do my best to show you all the colors up on the screen, but the way I typically color is lightest to darkest. If you've watched me at all, you know that. So my lightest color was some YG03. These are Copics. And then my mid-tone is YG17, and I have really loved bringing in a much darker color, which in this case is the YG67. You don't need a bunch of it. I'm going to put just a little bit down, and then I'm going to come in with that YG03 and blend that all out. You could go in with your mid-tone and blend it a little bit, but I just decided to bring in our YG03 and go right for it there. And I love the contrast. So then I forgot this leaf down here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And everything that I'm showing you on this set of strawberries, or this whole image, we're going to do that on all of them. So once again, YG03, YG17, then YG67. Now, you'll notice sometimes with strawberries, or I'm sure you've noticed, that sometimes they have that like lightish green at the top. So I went ahead and put that down for my strawberry, and then I'm going to do these pink, as you could probably tell since I brought in a pink piece of cardstock. And so this first color that I'm using is R20. So I'm going to put that down as my lightest color, and I want these, like I said, to be pink. We'll bring in our YG01. That was our light, like greenish yellow color at the top. And then my mid-tone is going to be some RV13. So I'm just going to put that down where I think the shadowing and the shading would be. And I know most of the time when we do strawberries, we think bright red. That's what I think usually when I think about my childhood, because we did have a strawberry patch in our backyard. It was raised, and it was like circular, and it had stone all around it, and it was kind of my job to go out there and pick them, or maybe at least I thought that was my job. So anytime I saw a strawberry, I would pick it and bring it into my mom, whether she probably wanted me to or not. But we also had rhubarb, and so my mom would make the most incredible strawberry rhubarb pie and strawberry rhubarb crunch. Oh, loved it. So yeah, I'd bring in this tiny bowl of strawberries and hope that my mom could do something with it. And she was always so sweet about it, probably thinking if you just waited, we might have had enough to make something with. So I'm sure in the end I probably just ate them, but I love strawberries. I love strawberries. I love the memories it brings. And I think this image is just so darling. All right, so once we're done with our little strawberry coloring, I'm going to come back in with that YG01, blend that into the pink a little bit. Use some YG00 on the center of our flower, and then C1 for the petals. And for our wording, "You are so berry sweet," I'm going to do pretty much what I always do, which is an ombre look. I can't help it. Whenever I see these words, I have to, or the stamps that are like this, the Love Danny Studio stamps, I have to do it like this. But this time I decided to use our mid-tone and our darkest color for these. So the word sweet is going to have the YG17 and the YG67, and then I'll just go back in and blend that out. And then the "you are so," I'm going to do the same way with that green. And for our word berry, we're going to use our mid-tone, which is the RV13, and then we'll come in with our darkest shade for the ombre effect. Our little hearts, normally I guess you'd probably decide to color those like a red or a pink, but in this case I went ahead and decided to color those the center of our flower. You'll see that when we get to it, and I don't add a second color to it. but our RV14 is our darkest shade. And then once again, we'll blend that out. And then that's when we're going to need to bring in our matching dies. And like I said, they're all separate, which is great. So you can cut these all out separately if you're very careful. You have to do it in stages. But like I said, I stamped this out 4 times, and just the strawberries is really what I needed. So I've got 4 sets of strawberries, and I've got some hearts, and I've got 1 set of the words. And now we have our panels, so we can start stacking everything up on there. And I'm just going to kind of play around with placement a little bit. And it's at this point I decided I'm going to need some splatter. So I brought in the Trinity Gold palette. I'm going to put this in my makeshift splatter box. I put a little bit of water on the strawberry or the champagne color, and then I'm going to splatter that all over that green, lime green background. It's so pretty on there. And that sparkle is amazing. I need that dry, so I'm going to heat set that. And then we can start putting our strawberries down. So I'm going to use liquid glue to do so. You could use foam tape. That would really add some dimension, which would be fun. And I'm not concerned about my strawberries hanging off of the edges. As you can see, a couple of my strawberries that I die cut, when I stamped them, I didn't have enough room, so they die cut the stems a little off. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that hang off so I can cut that off. And then we'll put down our last strawberry on the front here. I do have 1 more to put on the inside. But I love this. I think this is super fun. And if I had been thinking, I would have gone ahead and cut off the excess, but I wasn't. So we're going to use some foam tape to attach down our "You Are So Berry Sweet" sentiment. I'll peel off that release paper, which sometimes is easy to do and sometimes not so much. A little bit of a struggle here. But we get it off, and then we can attach down our words. And then I can attach down our little hearts as well. Just the 3 of them. And then I'm going to bring in that pink panel and we'll attach that down. Like I said, if I had been thinking, I would have trimmed off my strawberries first, but this is part of the reason why I like working with liquid glue so much, because it, when I'm not thinking and I mess up, I can usually work around it. But if I had used like a double-sided adhesive, this might have been a goner. All right, so I'll just peel that back a little bit, and then I can trim off my excess. And I do like doing that. I've said this before. I like when I have stuff hanging off the edges, because it kind of gives the illusion that there's more going on outside of the card. Like this is a real scene, and there are even more strawberries that you just don't see. So I love this. I think this is super fun. We're going to pull in a card base. Now this measures 7 inches by 10 inches. I'm going to score it at 5 inches. So it will be a 5 by 7 card when it is all folded. You could use white or I suppose any color of cardstock, but I really liked bringing that green back in. And I guess now that I'm looking at it, it wasn't the 2nd and 3rd largest. It was probably the 3rd and 4th largest dies that I used that were the modern embossed A7. And then I'll take that last strawberry and we'll put that on the inside of our card. I love doing that. I love tying the outside to the inside. So oftentimes I like to have a little bit extra so I can put that in there. And then I have these darling little milk glass gems that we are going to just disperse all over the front there with our pickup stick using our tidy tray. And then we're going to put those down with a little bit of liquid glue. And then once those are down, that's going to finish off our card for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. I love this card. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Big thanks for all that you guys do and all the love and support that you guys give. You guys are amazing. And I will see you soon in another video. Bye, everybody.